The story opens at an FBI safe house in Indiana, where William, an FBI agent, and his colleague question an informant about two mafia men, Hector Alvarez and Adrian, who are both on the FBI's most wanted criminal list. Actually, this woman, known as the mother, had worked closely with these thugs and organized an arms deal between them. William often questions her about Hector and Adrian, but she says that the location is unsafe for them and that Adrian can visit at any time. Because the FBI investigators insist on knowing, she informs them that Hector Alvarez is trafficking in Russian weapons. Adrian and his men attack them from outside the safe house. All of the FBI agents begin to die one by one. But as William tries to get the woman out of there, he is shot. She first aids William's wound before hiding in a bathroom to make an explosive. When Adrian answers the door, she promptly shoots him, but she misses. Adrian glances at her for a few seconds, surprised to learn she is pregnant, before savagely stabbing her in the stomach. As Adrian tries to run, the bomb explodes, hurting him, and the lady opens the shower to save herself from the fire. Moments later, the mother is in a hospital, where she gives birth to a baby girl. After a while, an FBI agent enters the room to speak with her. When the mother sees her, she inquires about her child and is told that the baby is in foster care. The mother insists on seeing her baby, but the agent warns her that she must leave the baby in FBI custody because it is dangerous for her to raise the child knowing that Adrian or Hector will attack them. They give her a contract to cancel her parental rights. Later, she confronts William and informs him that her daughter's safety is in his hands. He joyfully embraces her because she has saved his life. The mother stares at the baby before going away. The scene moves to Tlingit Bay, Alaska, where the mother arrives on a boat, having decided to start over. There, she meets a friend named Johns, who greets her and drives her home. On the way, Johns reminds her that because she is an exceptional sniper, she can obtain a job here protecting the farm, but the mother denies the offer. 12 years later, the mother has become acclimated to the area, as seen by the way she lives her life. When the mother returns home after hunting, she is greeted by his friend Johns, who brings her an envelope from William. She is surprised because it is not her daughter's birthday, but she opens it nonetheless and discovers an address and time, as well as a travel document, and she prepares herself for the journey. She flies to Cincinnati, Ohio, where she meets William and begins their voyage. William informs her that his squad invaded Hector's residence and discovered destructive weapons as well as a picture of her daughter. William also informs the mother that 6 men are in their custody in Mexico, and that she is required to identify them, but she refuses and tells him that she will protect her daughter. The mother begins following Zoe from school to her house, where she spends time staring at Zoe. We see the mother looking over Zoe from a distance one day when she is playing in the park with her friends in the company of her foster mother. When the mother notices a van driving to the park, she prepares her gun. Suddenly, another van appears, and she recognizes one of Hector's goons. She starts shooting them one by one, but one man captures Zoe after shooting her foster mother, and he uses her as a shield to avoid the sniper. Unfortunately, the bus distracts the mother, allowing the criminals to abduct Zoe. When the mother notices them approaching, she begins crawling beneath the cars to hide from the dangerous man. She comes across an old car, which she dismantles and enters. She starts the engine and kills the man before driving away. Unfortunately, the police stop her before she can leave, and as a result, the mother falls down to the road, where William discovers her and drives away. On the way, the mother blames the FBI for failing to protect Zoe despite the knowledge that they were expecting the kidnappers. She informs William that she knows the abductor and promises to kill them all in order to retrieve Zoe. The mother and William fly to Cuba in search of the man responsible for Zoe's kidnapping. When they get to the pub, the kidnapper arrives, and they begin tracking him. The mother approaches him and inquires about Zoe's whereabouts. However, before he can respond, another man stabs William from behind, and the kidnapper flees. While William fights the others, the mother pursues him, and he subsequently joins the hunt. When the mother spots him from a distance, she jumps on a bike and pursues him, generating a ruckus on the streets of Cuba. She is hit by a car, and after getting up, she jumps inside the car and continues the chase. The mother manages to knock down the kidnapper, and he is transported to an abandoned house to be interrogated. They begin asking him about Zoe's whereabouts, and when he refuses, the mother begins striking him, and after relentless torture, he provides them with Zoe's address, which is also where Hector lives. He annoys the mother, and she kicks him, causing him to fall on a broken bottle and die. Later, the mother attends to William's wound, and he praises her for saving his life. She also appreciates him for being there for her daughter. William wonders how she got involved with the mafia. She tells William that Adrian was her sniper unit trainer in Afghanistan, and she was so good at shooting targets that Adrian asked her to work with him in their business of selling weapons to bad guys. But she refused the deal and decided to serve at Guantanamo Bay, where she spent some time in the tower. She used to see Hector smuggling guns off the base without anyone noticing, so she used him as a retirement plan, and she served as a broker between Hector and Adrian. Everything was well until she became pregnant, and then everything turned against her when they started contacting each other and neglecting her. After conducting her own inquiry, she realized that they were smuggling children. This compelled her to seek help from the FBI. Later, they arrive at Hector's house, where the mother takes up position and begins the work she enjoys most, shooting Hector's guards one by one while William clears his route. While William reaches the junction box to cut off the electricity, the mother goes directly to the house and begins killing the other males in search of her daughter. The mother finishes the guys and goes to the room where Zoe is, and they safely exit. The mother hands Zoe to William and returns inside to look for Hector. When she finds him, he points a gun at her and asks her to lay down the weapons. After a while, Hector asks her if Zoe is his, but her mother says it doesn't matter. When Hector approaches, the mother punches him and stabs him in the stomach, killing him. After that, they all return to America from Cuba, pausing along the way to buy supplies for the mother and give some to Zoe. As she prepares to leave, Zoe asks if she is her biological mother, and after a brief hesitation, the mother declines and departs. Zoe believes the mother is her biological mother, so she asks William why she ignores the truth, but William ignores it. As William drives away, Zoe looks at the mother with tears in her eyes, which causes the mother to cry. As William is about to arrive at their destination, a car hits them from the side, seriously hurting him, and then another car arrives. Two men arrive and remove William from the car, at which point Zoe also departs. Adrian approaches her, asking where her mother is. The mother appears on a bike and aims a gun at Adrian, but she is forced to drop it, so she directs Zoe to remain at her back. Adrian finds out that William is an FBI agent, and they murder him. The mother throws a lighter at a leaky car, which explodes. She hops on her bike, calls Zoe, and they ride away. When they get to the restaurant, Zoe asks when she will return home. The mother informs her that the mafia will not stop seeking her, therefore they must continue running and hiding from them. The mother calls Zoe's foster mother to tell her that Zoe is safe and will be going home soon. The mother then drives Zoe to her home in Alaska, where no one can find her. When they arrive in Alaska, they go hunting and find a deer, which makes Zoe delighted, but her joy is short-lived since her mother shoots it. Later, her mother cooks for her, but Zoe refuses to eat. The next morning, Zoe is assigned to begin survival training. They begin with driving and move to sprinting and shooting targets. When Zoe's mother discovers her smoking, she throws it away and instructs her not to do it again. Zoe grows irritated and points a gun at her mother, indicating that she wants to go home, but her mother states she isn't ready, which irritates Zoe, but she assures her that she is simply keeping her safe. The next day, Zoe's mother gives her a blade and begins teaching her how to use it. Zoe gradually advances in her training, particularly in her shooting precision. When Zoe's mother comes looking for her, she discovers her playing with the cubs. One of the cubs bites Zoe's hand. Then Zoe's mother takes her to a local doctor for treatment. While there, Zoe makes a mistake and tells them her real name, which is now in the system. Zoe's mother then takes her to her friend Johns and instructs him to take Zoe far away from here because Adrian will soon track them down and come. She gives Johns a message she composed for Zoe and then gets in her way, leaving Zoe crying. That night, Adrian's guys begin to arrive in cars in the vicinity, and Johns warns the mother about them. Zoe opens the envelope, and her mother expresses her love for her and promises to defend her against all odds. Zoe becomes sad after reading the letter and drives back to see her mother. On the other hand, Adrian and his men arrive at the place, but he informs them that it is a kill zone and that they should not underestimate the woman. Landmines kill the first men before the mother attacks. Adrian sets fire to the house and sends his soldiers to seek out Zoe. Before learning that Zoe has been recognized, the mother disguises herself in an enemy uniform and murders a guy. She rushes to get her first, but sadly, Zoe slips into the hands of the enemy. The mother pursues the thugs and eventually rescues Zoe. Later, Zoe and her mother climb the tree to have a clear shot at the enemies. Then, through a radio call, Zoe's mother receives a message from Adrian stating that Zoe is on his target and that if she wants Zoe to survive, she must surrender to Adrian, which she accepts. Adrian tells her to put down the rifle and remove her uniform. The mother assaults Adrian, and they fight hard, during which she wounds him. A gunshot terrifies both of them into collapsing, though the mother is injured and unconscious. When Zoe hurries to visit her mother, Adrian appears from behind and takes her away. The mother regains consciousness and attempts to stand, only to see Adrian whisk her daughter away. She tries to shoot Adrian, but her injured body refuses to cooperate. She tries again, and it appears to fail, so she becomes upset because it was her only chance. Then we discover that the gunshot killed Adrian, and when Zoe finds out, she slips out and rushes back to her mother. Later, Zoe's mother returns her safely to her foster parents, and she departs. In the final scene, she rents a room near Zoe's school in order to be in touch with her daughter and continue their relationship. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.